Welcome back. This is episode, I think, 17 of Take Notes. So who we have on the podcast today is my friend Brett Rau. Grew up together, played basketball together, soccer together. From high school basketball point guard to community college player of the year to walk on at Mizzou to handling legit minutes in March Madness to intern for the Dallas Mavericks to now graduate assistant at Akron. There's a lot to cover. It'll be laid back. It'll be about basketball. If you like sports and you want a career in sports, he's on that path. So it'll be fun for you to listen to. So is it coach? Is it player developer? GM? What's the long-term plan?
More so coach or player development. Kind of depends what level I end up at. Which I'm not really set in stone on. I want to be here. I want to be college. I want to be NBA or G League or whatever you want it to be. So I'm kind of just feeling it out. I have one more year at Akron. Hopefully we win another ring and add that to my resume.
What conference is Akron in?
The MAC. So
MAC-tion.
NIU,
there we
Toledo.
Go. Yeah, I thought so. But all right. So you're telling me that the ceiling for your basketball career isn't returning to coach our old high school team? You have higher aspirations than that?
I mean, I'm not totally against coaching high school. But it would have to be a team
that competes for state titles, right?
It would have to be the perfect situation for me.
Let's talk, because you're 24?
I'll be 24 in a couple weeks.
All right, 24 in a couple weeks. What do you think, if you had to describe your coaching philosophy right now, would be?
Oh, God.
Run and gun, let the three ball fly. Are you like a Hoosiers coach, 3 passes, then a shot?
It's more of a run and gun, open, free type play.
Does it mimic how you like to play as a player, or is that what you think works best to win?
I think it depends on the type of players you have, but I would try to. I mean, if you have a lot of smarter players and guys with high IQs, I think you can let them rock out more, which I think players feel more empowered to play then and play better that way. So I'd say that's probably my style right now.
Yeah, see, I'd like you as a coach. I mean, I wouldn't make it off the bench, but I think I'd like you as a coach. So we'll start there. I'll vouch for anyone out there.
You always need a good hype man on your bench.
Dude,
I was that man mostly.
Dude, so I actually wanted to talk to you about that. To go forward, we got to go back. When you left high school, you were like, what, 6 foot, 6'1"?
Yeah, I was
by the end of your freshman year at community basketball. You were like, obviously you're tall as shit now and you're way more athletic. I always had this theory that like there's parents out there who hold their kids back a year. If your parents held you back a year in school, our basketball team would have been raw as hell the next couple of years.
I've thought about that because I'm young for my grade.
Yeah, that's true, because you have a summer birthday, like you just mentioned. So yeah, and I remember I left because we played soccer together in high school. And for those of you who don't know, if you're watching this because you know Brett, he could have gone to college soccer for goalie too. But that was just my personal opinion. But I think basketball was the right choice based on where you've made it.
Yeah.
But I left soccer at 6 foot 181. I finished my freshman year at college at 6'3", 205.
Wow.
I probably wouldn't have quit basketball. I would have just been like a better bench player if I would have stuck around. So yeah, I don't know. I remember because when we were in high school, you never mentioned. You know how there's kids in high school who are like, yo, I want to play college soccer. I want the kids that talk the talk. You never once to me or anyone that I was around said, I want to play college basketball. And then like 2 years go by and you're like, I'm going to go play at Mizzou. And we're all like, what the hell happened here? So what was that like when you were a senior? Did you just go, I don't want to stop playing yet?
I guess going into freshman year of college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wasn't good enough at basketball to go somewhere where I was like, I'm good, like I can go play. I mean, there was smaller schools I could have went and played depending.
Could have been one of like 300 kids in the grade, and
so
all of them are athletes as well as students.
I was just like, I mean, ECC, Elgin Community College.
Dude, the GOAT community college.
I mean, a lot of people from around here go there. It gets a bad rep.
No, actually, so
I think it's turning up a little bit.
Going forward, so you play for the ECC.
Yeah, and
what did you get better at in your eyes? Because you said you were trash as a senior in high school, and we were. And if you went to our high school, you're like, yeah, Brett's really good, but obviously to make it to like a next level, you have to be better. But what do you think changed?
Really just like work ethic, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I didn't ever, growing up, like I never had a trainer. I never really trained for basketball. I didn't play AAU. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I just played outdoor sports. I played driveway basketball in the neighborhood. I played wiffle ball, tennis ball, baseball, all that.
For reference, guys, I was trash at basketball, and we would play like horse in 21, and he would wipe me, and I promise you I was not making him better, so he's got a point.
After my freshman year, I didn't even have a good freshman year at ECC. We were a good team.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good players on the team. I averaged like 4 points a game. We won 20 games, but lost early in the playoffs, whatever, but weren't very good. I wasn't very good again. I started to get better throughout the year. I was still very small, like skinny.
Yeah.
Not adapted to the speed yet. And then that off season, I kind of just literally went to the gym every day by myself at ECC.
Yeah.
Rebounded every ball for myself. I just made up drills, honestly. I just made up random stuff to get better.
Yeah.
To become more consistent and whatnot. And it kind of just went into my sophomore year, and it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah, and we'll transition towards the end of the story about how you eventually decide on Mizzou and stuff like that. But when it comes to, you know how there's kids who always have like rich ass parents and they have like the nice trainers and the nice coaches?
Yeah.
Our area is like, you play in the CDBL baseball league, you play in the Burlington basketball league. There was no like travel. We were almost like sheltered from what it takes to make it to the next level. Because like travel teams and stuff were kind of a thing as we got older.
Yeah.
So the whole having to make it on your own is a very real thing around here. And maybe not as much anymore.
Not anymore, but when we were like, it was like nobody from like Central, anybody played AAU or anything like that. It was just, you played Central feeder and you went to try to beat the Moringos and whoever else you were playing. But
dude, I showed up every night to lead that student section. That was all I brought to the table. But honestly, I think that
one of the best student section leaders the school has ever seen right here.
Dude, I just remember the one story I have about that is I got kicked out of the girls regional soccer final within a minute of getting into the game. Cade was the leader my senior year, and he was like, I'm not going to be there. I was like, I'll go. So we had Christina, who's like our mascot. I pay $3 to Gertz, who was our AD. I walked to those first set of benches. Ball goes off, the other team out of bounds. The ref gives them the throw in. I stand up and I go, hey ref, does your wife know you're screwing us? And he points at me and he says, out. And the AD was just like, I can't give you your money back. So it was 60 seconds and I was gone. So yeah, you got way better, and I'm not even gonna front. Like when we were like, I would see like photos of you. You'd put up photos on Instagram of you. I'm like, holy shit, he's actually like tall, strong, and like, because you were kind of skinny. No disrespect.
Yeah, I know that's not disrespect at all. I mean, I have been. I still am now. I mean,
my question is when you look to go to walk on, right? You probably had the choice between going to a small school, or like playing somewhere where you'd be the starter right away, or trying to, hack it at the biggest level. And you chose Mizzou. How did you make your way through that decision?
It was kind of long, and honestly, I waited a long time for obviously that Mizzou thing to happen. But I was recruited. I mean, heavily Division III. I had a lot of Division II, NAIA, so pretty much every level. And I had seriously thought about each one. Honestly, like I wasn't dead set like D1 or bust or this or that. I had some buddies like going to play at Aurora University, and they had a really good team. So I thought about going there because we would have had a chance to probably compete nationally.
Yeah.
And then I had some other Division II offers that I was looking at, NAIA, and then I was honestly I probably emailed. I couldn't even tell you how many schools about reaching out for any opportunity or whatnot. And I kind of just came across Mizzou one day, and I saw that they were going through quite a bit of roster change for various reasons.
Did the coach you sign on with, was that Quanzo Martin? Was there a coaching change between your junior and senior year?
It was a coaching change.
Okay, so when you went to walk on, who was the coach?
Kim Anderson.
Okay, so how you reach out to him via email? How hard was that to be like, give me some eyes?
So at a school like a high major, you're never going to be able to reach out to the head coach via email.
You got to go to the assistants, right? Yeah.
Sometimes you can't even get to the assistants easily. Some emails aren't like out there, or they don't check them, or especially like you're trying to get a walk-on opportunity. Like it's second fiddle for them. They're not looking for that. It's not their priority. They have 1,000 things going on, and I see it now. Like that's why I'm kind of lucky that it even happened. Quick backstory: one of the assistant coaches at Akron now is the guy who got me to Mizzou.
We're going to talk about how networking in sports matters, because that's a big thing, but that's good to know. So keep going.
So I emailed the coaching staff, a guy by the name of Rob Fulford, who is the guy I work for now. was an assistant coach there at the time, and he hit me back and was like, yeah, we'd be interested. We're looking for another guard that could potentially, if needed, just a guy that could bring the ball up the floor, blah, 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 get us in stuff, things like that. Simple stuff. Nothing, obviously not guaranteeing anything like that. And we talked for a little bit, and he ended up telling me to come down and play, have a short visit, not like your full official visit where you got your high major.
You're taking photos of the jerseys and the big logo behind you, and like, you know, the ice pose.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So I didn't get all that, but so I went down there. I played open gym with the guys and stuff, and visited around campus, and then I pretty much just went home.
Yeah.
And I was kind of just out of my hands at that point, and then about a week or two later, he texted me, I think. He might have called me. No, he called me. I was actually golfing with my grandpa, Del Webb.
Great retirement community.
Shout out Del Webb. But yeah, and he called me. He's like, yeah, we'd love to take you as a preferred walk-on. And then I can't remember what month that was, but then I went there in the summer before school started and got things
When
going.
you got that call, was it like the decision's made? Like, that's it for me? Or was there still part of you that was like, oh, Aurora might be the move?
Well, the thing about that is, so I think he told me on a Wednesday, and that Friday
was signing day.
I was scheduled to go to Southern Illinois, Carbondale, and essentially do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, do I wait? Do I not? But I was like very concerned that I didn't want to lose out on it.
Yeah.
And if I went to Southern, I'm thinking lower level, I might have a better chance to earn minutes and all that. So I ended up not even going to Southern and playing and stuff. I was like, I can't really pass it up. It's honestly, it was like a dream, essentially, a quiet dream that I just.
No, it was pretty dope because you went to play at Mizzou, and I went to Ole Miss, which has been said 30 times on this thing, but you actually came to play at our house. I remember I walked up, and my MPJ was injured at the time, and he was rebounding for you, and I remember I gave you depth. I dabbed you up, and I looked at MPJ because he's like, well, how does Brett know him? And I was like, hey, thanks for rebounding for the GOAT. And he just laughed at me, and I just walked away. I was like, I'm going to go cheer.